Yeah, back with another A to Z. This is Brazilla,
Yeah.
oh younger Ali. Man, we're gonna have a good one today, bro. All about language, spells. This is a little track I put together for us, bro. How you feeling?
Oh man, I'm liking this.
Yeah, I put together a little AI, man. This will be our little tune.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just gonna vibe with it. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, boy. A
Yeah.
to Z, we back. We
Yeah,
try to
you're
step it
doing
up
it
a little
big.
bit, dude. Yeah, man. Language as a spell, how words divide, distract, and control. This November 30th, last day of November. It's Rodzilla. You know, we always seeking to connect our family out there with words of wisdom. So just two friends chatting it up, always coming up with great conversations. What's up, Oyanga? Welcome to the studio, man.
Hey, yeah, man, this is a wonderful place to be right here, sitting here, get some stuff off our chest and go ahead and get ready to get heated up and learn some new stuff. Learn some new stuff. Maybe get a good argument, get a good disagreement, get a good agreement going. Something.
Yeah, bro.
Something.
Yeah, for something. So if
It's,
you hopefully we get some people join. This is gonna be a great one, bro. I put up some research. I want to dive in like real hard just to set the stage on what this language is all about. So if you want to get into it, we can get into it. We can chop it up a little bit more. See if somebody come in the building or.
oh nah, man. Let's get into it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna share my screen, man. Let's see. Share the screen. Let's see here. Yeah. I just had this thing popping here too. Um, can you see my? Can you see this?
Yeah, it just popped up.
Yeah. So this is one of the things I wanted to go into, man. First of all, language is a technology, and it connects us or disconnects us. In our case, I think with English, uh, language in the past, we're gonna just chop it up a little deeper about how it used to connect us to the stars. And this symbol that we see on the screen is a monogram of the alphabet. And oftentimes we say, let's think outside the box, but this is the box in which we think in if you're an English speaking person. So I wanted to show this little quick video of how this symbol has mapped out everything that all the letters that you see in the English language. And you see it playing here. It's just going through the alphabet. All the letters, all the numbers are contained in this one symbol. So this is the box that we're in if you think of language, especially English language. And we know that through history, there was once a place called the Tower of Babel, where it was said that they were building a structure to the heavens. And some people came in and confounded this language. And we know that we build worlds through the words that we use. We whirl the tongue and it penetrates the ether and it creates pictures in the mind. And then we act on those pictures. So language really has a real huge effect on what we're doing. So the language has been confused, and the words that we use nowadays, they tend to come back void. They don't really have much power or connection to the universe and how things really work. So we'll start there. If you want to add on to that, I'm going to pull up my next slide. You got anything to add about that little monogram there?
No, about the monogram, I think that was my first time ever seeing that. So it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. One of the things that you did say is, or at least what I heard, because there was a lot of stuff my mind was processing at that particular point in time. I might have
Sure.
been hypnotized by that, the reveal of the letters and stuff and numbers. Actually, that was inside of that monogram. Now,
Okay.
was that you? The power. I need to grab my pen and paper for this one. But how you was talking about the power or something that is um, energy that you know what we just gonna go ahead and keep pushing.
Yeah, let's just keep pushing, man.
I'm gonna step away real quick. You keep talking. I can still hear you. I'm gonna grab me
Okay.
a pen.
Yeah, so I pulled up this document here, and what this document shows is kind of a historical account of languages. And let me see. So I highlighted some things here, and what we need to understand about language is that um, it really connected us with stars. Our ancient ancestors not only used language as a way to communicate, but it was literally a way to track the zodiac and the constellations. And this document here, this picture here, we can see that the researcher Brian Peller looked at the 22 letter Phoenicians, and this is an ancestral chart of language through Hebrew, Greek, Latin, and Arabic. And most of the modern scripts today was deliberately designed to correspond the languages with the symbols. So I highlight a few things that this picture talks about. The agriculture and astronomical function. These systems encoded the life-sustaining cycle of wheat cultivation, which tied to celestial observations. So the modern Hebrew language shows the shapes that evolve, but they retain the structural correspondence to astronomical signs. And this is important to remember that our original language was tied to astronomical signs, which let us know what time it was, basically, so that we could farm, take care of the animals, take care of ourselves, and be in unison with nature. Okay. So we go a little bit further. So writing was a sacred technology. This document conveys that ancient alphabets were not just phonetic tools, but sacred instruments encoding the cosmic order. Writing and time were inseparable. Okay. So our ancestors used language to track time. So this literacy and cosmology were one. This chart conveys ancient people's learning to read was learning to read the cosmos. And that's important to note that we were literally using language as a connection tool to live our life. And, our language is far from that today.
Yeah,
But
like
go ahead. You can
just to
stop
step
it
in.
anytime, bro. Go ahead.
What this is basically saying is that the verbal language and writing was not used in the same way that we use it now. It was not used for actual communicating like we communicate. It was used as a creation tool, a
Yes.
tool to create something. And now we've broken that and turned it into rubbish because we're talking daily, constantly about stuff that means nothing, and we're creating nothing with our focused words.
Confusion, right? Just confusion.
Yeah. Yes.
So we'll just keep going. So the evidence is presented here that the 6 letters in the Torahs, they were arranged vertically. These same patterns appear in Egyptian celestial diagrams, Mesopotamian cylinder seals, Roman zodiac coins, and they even encoded the mathematical symbol of phi. The ratio was built into the alphabet structure. So this is a fringe document, they say, but it gives legitimacy, but remains outside the mainstream linguistics. But this system just continued to evolve. And what it says further is that we went from thinking that alphabets were pragmatic inventions, just recording speech, letters of shapes that were arbitrary, different cultures developing different writing independently, and literacy as a secular technology, to using this type of chart to show us that alphabets were sacred cosmological systems. Letter shapes had astronomical meanings. It would created ancient global networks, which means that people across the globe were able to communicate because the symbols in which they used to communicate and speak with connected them, because everyone can see the stars, right? It's just a matter of when the constellations come into your vantage point. And literacy was an initiation into this cosmic order. So the big picture is that I'll pull this chart up again after we finish this document, is that it appears that it was a cross-cultural way to communicate. Writing and timekeeping evolved together. It was all about astronomical observation. Alphabets had hidden layers of meaning, and modern readers have forgotten these. And this document shows that these familiar 26 letters we type every day may be the last vestige of an ancient system that once united language, astronomy, agriculture, and sacred knowledge into a single integrated whole. We've inherited a tool whose original purpose we've forgotten, and using it purely for phonetically while its creators encoded the rhythm of the cosmos into its very structure. And this chart asks us to not look at these numbers and letters as arbitrary squiggles, but a crystallized wisdom from cultures that they saw no separation between reading the sky and reading a text. Both were ways of deciphering the divine.
Wow.
So
that's deep, and it shows how far we done fell off.
Yeah, man. So
like,
I want to
really?
I'm gonna pull up this chart one more time so we can see it, what it's referring to. Let's see entire screen. Are you able to see the entire screen here?
I can only see you.
Okay.
And myself.
Why it's not letting me show this tab, bro?
Is it the first one?
Yeah, I can pull up the chart here because I did put it at the beginning of this document here when I was researching it. So we'll just go back to the top. So this is the chart that it's referring to here. That this chart shows this linguistic connection between all languages and all cultures that they used. So I just had put it into ChatGPT, had to break it down and give me that scholarly report. But those symbols, man, they connected all of us. And when we talk about, you and I talk about the Tower of Babel all the time, it said, let us go down and confound their language. It was talking about disconnecting the people from Earth, you know. And we hear sometimes like, ancient cultures, particularly here, like the Native Americans, they would name people after animals and different elemental spirits and things, to wind and all this type of stuff, because it was really connecting them to the energetics of that person and that being when they came into existence. So, the names we have today, Rod, is not really connecting to us. And we talked last week about how when we just named someone something with no real connection to the power, we just kind of inhibit what that soul is here to even bring forth. So if we just even imagine naming someone based on the elementals and the spirits and the cosmos, they're going to be a representative of the power they came here to display.
Yeah. And what that opened up for me, which is pretty, I don't know if it's bad or good or whatever, but the colonizers, the people who come and colonize any group of people and change their language has got to be seen as, in the spiritual realm, they have got to be seen as a devil, a demon, because they're actually performing the works that disconnect us from our spirit, our powers, our creation. They're doing things so that we don't connect. And
that's right.
That's basically what opened up for me.
And for sure, bro. And you spot on. And listen to the word you use, devil, right? If we start looking at different etymological concepts, we can see that the vowels are interchangeable. So that word devil, you could take the E out and put I in, and it's interchangeable, which is the root of divide. And then you also have IL at the end of that word. And we know L, that I there could be interchanged with E, and L is a god. So you're dividing the gods with that word. That's what that kind of means to me, that you're dividing the gods or disconnecting something from the God power, which we know this realm is. It is, a god in a sense, right? Like Earth, it is it. You know what I'm saying?
This Mother Earth is alive.
It's who we are, right? We're connected to it. And no matter what you say or how you feel about it, you cannot disconnect from earth. That's why they say no one can separate you from the love of God, because you is who you are.
Yeah.
And they say, God is love. Now, now when I use the term God, we have to be very careful with it because it's a loaded term, and I think we've talked about that before too.
Oh yeah,
That
most definitely.
that the God that I'm referring to isn't, or I prefer to say the Creator, because the term God can be very loaded. So the Creator, nothing can separate you from the creative force, because I think the God of certain books are a lower version of that. So
yeah.
So nothing can really separate you from the creative force, because we're like mediums. We're like, the energy flows through us, and when our feet connect to the ground, the energy flows up through us and out of us and around us, and we're able to allow energy to come in our body, and it's like a conduit for the energy to just flow through us. And the thoughts that we have, the language that we have, can disconnect us from that flow.
Yeah. And I was thinking about this the other day too, and it does deal with language. I was thinking about the Africans or the Aborigines from other areas, Australia, Africa, wherever, and there are still wild people out there, and they're surviving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're surviving through this, and they still have their own language. They're still connected. They're still walking around barefoot. They're still practicing their language. They're practicing who they were and who they have been. You know what I mean? So basically, they might not get to practice fully, but coming from that life to this life, are we really living better than them? You know what I mean?
Absolutely, I know what you mean. They call those people primitive and uncivilized, right?
Right.
Third world, but
they don't need money.
They don't.
They're living off of the land. They still have a form of happiness that we don't understand. And for us to sit there and speak negative about them when we don't even understand how this guy can go give somebody $600 billion. We don't even understand what that is like to have that much money. What to be able to say, I'm going to give you $600 billion, not from the country, but from my pocket. $600 billion. And then say, okay, I'm going to add $400 billion from my country to make $1 trillion. And we say that Elon Musk is the richest person in the world, but this dude got $600 billion that he can give. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's not the richest person in the world.
Not even close.
Can't be.
And right. And what is real wealth, right? What is real wealth? We know that real wealth is the land and nature. Like, they disconnected us from the real currency and gave us money.
Yeah. I think the real wealth, the tool of the real wealth is exactly what we are talking about right now. And that is language. It's language. And the fact that that video that we had before, where we don't even have words in our culture.
Oh, come on. Yeah, man. It looks like we lost our lead for a second. I don't know if you can still hear me, my man. But looks like we lost him. Yeah, he's not you're not on the stage anymore. So it's all good. Looks like he was bringing up, referencing a video we'll give Ali a chance to come back on. He was referencing a video that we played last week where certain words are not even in our culture. Yeah, I lost you for a second, but you're back. You want to finish that point you were making about how certain words and certain cultures will disconnect you from the power.
That is so weird.
Thanks for joining. Whoever's out there, go ahead and drop a line. Go ahead, man. I can hear you. So what's it?
Oh, you can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. You're good. Man, we lost him again. I don't know. We're having some technical difficulties with Ali. He's going in and out.
Oh, I don't even know. Hold on.
Okay, I can.
Hey, yeah. Well, anyway, I'm just gonna go ahead and roll like this.
Yeah, go for it.
But it's just like in that video we shared. There's words that we don't even have in our language, so we don't even understand how it works. We can hear a definition from another country, from a country of what that word is, and we can act like we don't have that word here, but we understand how it is, right? But it's not in our culture, so we really don't understand how it is. Feng shui, right?
Okay. Yeah.
That word is not in our culture, but we understand it's the flow of movement. But because it's in another person's culture, they actually live with the flow of movement, the flow of energy, right? Just like that, the video was talking about maintenance. They were saying, oh yeah, maintenance, we don't have a word for it, but it's like to take care of. He's like, no, that's not what maintenance is. You can think it's to take care of.
For sure.
But maintenance is deeper than that. It's a part of your culture. It's what you do, you know? So there's so many different words out there. What about the words from those people, from the Aborigines that are like, we don't even know the energy or the energy that those things create. We don't know what those words are. You know,
for sure. We make fun of it and think it's just noise, right? Oh, it's just making some funny noises. Right. And they probably think the same about us.
Right. But those words allow them to live in the situation that they are in and be happy with it.
That's right.
You know, so words are beyond important to our society. And again, we really have to pay attention. Why do the monks not talk? They're not wasting their words.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not wasting their words. Exactly. And they're learning when they do speak. Hey, this word that I speak is going to be freaking important. It's not going to be, somebody pooped on the floor. You know what I mean? It's not going to be a waste of word. It's not going to be a curse. Like, oh man, look at that son of a bee that just cut me off. No, that's not their focus. It's not going to be their focus. Their focus is going to be on creating. They even have what's that movie that they had with Eddie Murphy? Every word he said dropped a leaf from the tree, and then he would die if he.
Oh man, I don't think I ever saw that movie.
Okay, yeah, there was a movie where, and there's been a couple different types of movies like this where a person only has a certain amount of words that they can speak before they die. You know.
Oh wow. Okay.
So what they do is they start tightening up their words.
Yeah.
You know,
using only power words, right? Kind of power words, so to speak.
Or not even, they didn't even show, like for most of them, at least in my understanding, I've seen like 2 movies of it, but the words they didn't go to power words. What they went to is loving words. Like, oh, I love my family. So they didn't show the level of creation. They showed, I'm only going to spend my words on love.
That's right.
You know, so it didn't branch out to creation. It just branched out to peace and coddling, staying small. Love is a big thing, but they made it a small thing in the movie.
Sure. Yeah, and that's a good, interesting thing that you point out, because if you're being very strategic with the words you use, you want to use them in a way that connects. Because at the heart of humans, we want to connect and feel love, because that's the one thing that's missing. That's the one thing that makes a person feel whole again, with that self-love and then the love for others that you can experience. So if you have very few words, that is how you would start to express, you know. And we talked a little bit about how this realm and the way it's being utilized is putting us in a state of constant division, which is the opposite of love, because love brings everything together. So I want to pull up this another document to take this thing a little bit further, man. Let's take it a little bit further. Let's go. I'm gonna share my screen again. So a spiritual review of these words. So able to see it right here?
Yeah, I can see something.
Okay, we're still talking about this same chart, but it breaks it down how across culture, symbols serve the same spiritual purposes. Alphabets were literally drawings of nature: bulls, legs, water, snakes, etc. And the message was a human consciousness evolved by observing nature and coding it into the symbols. So this chart here is referring to that these first zodiac rows were just kind of connecting us to birth, growth, emotional mastery, selfhood, and the letters themselves were energetic vibrations. Ancient Hebrew and Phoenician letters were believed to hold energetic vibration. Each letter connected to a natural element, a mythic archetype, or a cosmic principle. And these mirrors how Chinese metaphysics views its symbols as forces, not just writing. So these letters, they have power behind them, and these words have power behind them. But we've kind of lost that meaning here. And it shows how that there's a common thread amongst all of the language, or at least used to be, as the ancients understood it, that connected the people together across cultures. And this is how they were able to communicate. And it shows that all spiritual systems point to the same universal archetypes: animals, sky, patterns, cycles of time, and the hero's journey of the soul. This document, human spirituality, is unified at the symbolic level. So it kind of breaks down how each one of these symbols, what they represent on an emotional, spiritual, and a metaphysical level. So I won't get too much into all those, because I could share this document if someone wanted to later, but it just kind of breaks down how these letters go beyond just words that we've already been talking about. They were spiritual concepts encoded within the language. Nature speaks in patterns, stars tell stories, animals were archetypes, and the letters are spiritual vibrations. So I'll just stop sharing, and we can dive into that a little bit deeper, man. So all right, I think we got global system range related policy. Yeah, man. So thanks for joining, General Scientist. Yeah, so we're just diving into language. So, even the word language itself, right? We could talk about how the language has been hidden. So the word language connects with the word lingua, which I believe is a Spanish word for tongue, and also lingam, which is another word for the male phallic symbol, or penis, and how the tongue, when you use a tongue, can penetrate the ether and create something, just like the male creative device can penetrate something and start creating new life. Because each one of these is a womb, right? Like the earth itself is seen as a womb, and we create just like we create, with male and female. So these energies, when they connect, it's all about creating something. So we can create with words, literally, if we know how to use the words in a way that creates so that they don't come back void. So and
I
and
will say this. I
go
will
ahead.
say this. You did say the words come back void, right?
Mhm.
My belief
Sure.
is that when it comes to the verbal language, the words never come back void. And what I'm saying is when it comes to energy and intention, right? So we're speaking and say we just look over here to the side and we see somebody smoking crack, right? It's not really in our world because we're driving. You know, we made the wrong turn and we see like, oh my gosh, they're smoking crack. Oh, there's a prostitute. Oh my gosh, this is dilapidated buildings. Let me keep on going. We went the wrong way, right? Possibly. That little bit of conversation, it's still creating. It doesn't have enough energy to manifest because I haven't spoke on it enough. You know, it's already here. I seen it. I spoke. Now, if I continue to speak on it, continue to speak on it, continue to speak on it, it gives it more power. I'm building it up. My intention is on it. So now, eventually, I'm not making wrong turns. I'm seeing it on television. You know, I'm meeting people who are from that area. I'm being brought to that area because I keep on speaking it. And now I'm speaking what they're speaking. So it brings me into that. So what I'm saying is, I don't believe that any of the words that we use, that's why monks stay quiet, because everything manifests itself. That is our power. That is a power. You know, even when it's said in the beginning, the letters, the universal language, you know, to where everybody all over the earth had a way to communicate with each other. That was creating something, and it had intention on each thing, you know. So
yeah, for sure. I totally buy that, and I want to add on to it because I think we're like, let's say for example, you're riding around in your scenario and you're saying things, you don't have very much intention or energy behind it, so you're just saying stuff. And like you say, when you start to repeat it over and over, it becomes like a mantra, which adds more and more power to it. So when the monks don't speak, what they're doing is they're getting into a place where they're in alignment with their energy from an intentional standpoint, from a body energetic standpoint. And when they do speak, they are fully in alignment and they speak with complete power. But other than that, they don't just say stuff like you said, because it's not that powerful unless you put real intention behind it. So it's like that when it comes to the language. When I say it's coming back void, a lot of times we're just saying things without a lot of intention behind it. And with that intention, that's when we say we're putting our vibrational energy to it, because we know looks like we lost Ali again. Yeah, so when we speak with real intentionality, we use this word heart all the time, and we're talking about a metaphysical heart in this sense that we're speaking from the metaphysical heart where we're in alignment, and the heart is where, which is another word for earth. Heart is also an anagram for earth, and heart is also representative of the center. And it's the place where the lower part of the chakras and the spiritual chakras meet in the middle. And when we speak and we're in alignment, we are speaking with true intention from the heart. And that is where it resonates out. And they can measure like, the frequency that comes from the heart through the Heart Math Institute has measured this frequency. And when things align like that, that's when you have true power behind the words. Other than that, it's just kind of, there's not a lot of intention, a lot of power. It doesn't create a whole lot, and it comes back void in a sense. But like you say, it does have a little bit of power, but not the true power.
Right.
Not the real power. So I think we're hinting at the same thing, but it all gets to the intention, which is why it's important to understand the intention in which you use words, which is why in those monks' case, they don't speak without real intention and real heart behind it.
Right. And I think that's how we need to focus
Yeah.
On a lot. We need to focus more,
Yeah.
especially when we
Yeah.
are interacting with one another. When we are in a form of disagreement with people who we know we truly love, you know, to make sure that we speak intentionally. We might need to take a time to shut up and still stay there,
Yeah.
still stay there, but engage in a different language, body language. I'm not talking about hauling off and socking her or him, but I mean, hey, let's just stand still for a second and let me look at you. Let's look at each other for a moment and breathe together so that, I mean, but be in silence so that that energy, the body language, the other languages that we don't actually understand can connect us together.
You're absolutely right, man. What did they say? Communication is 70 something percent body language, I think, like 70% body language. So
Yeah.
you're right, man. We do our bodies speak more than the words that we use that are generally, especially in the English language, is powerless, right? It's not as powerful as the body language. But
And
we generally don't know how to read it and understand it.
and even our the body language that comes off our chemical senses. You know what I
Hmm.
mean?
Sure.
That is a language, because some people, women and guys, humans, when they get around somebody that they are attractive to, set off different pheromones. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Hmm.
Um, when people get upset and angry, they set off a different pheromone, to set their dominance. Or if they're scared, that still comes out of their body. That's not necessarily a verbal thing, but it
Yeah.
can be sensed. That is still a language.
For
That's
sure.
still a language.
And
Um,
you make an excellent point, and we oftentimes just dismiss it. You'll go into a room and someone's speaking all, flashy to you, and you just say, man, there's something about that person that I'd like or dislike or whatever it may be. And oftentimes we override it and we just accept the language that they're giving us for a while. And that can slow us down. I was outside walking my dog yesterday, right? And one thing about animals, they can't hide when something's in their body. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for them to disconnect. Like if you've jump out, they're gonna flinch. If they see something over there, they're gonna act. Their body's gonna move. But a lot of
yeah,
times our language just slows us down because we got to process it. But so the language and the words can disconnect us from even instinct, because that's what the animals are acting off of, instinct. And these things that you're talking about, these pheromones, these body language, that's our instinct telling us these things, but we override it with intellect.
right, right. And that part is the part that we don't really I just said it, but we're not really trying to understand it. We hear, oh yeah, it's just pheromones or hormones or whatever. Yeah, but it's whatever. I do feel that we actually have the ability, if we focus on it, to where we can walk into a room and be like, oh, somebody here scared, or oh, I
For
smell
sure.
somebody else's dominance. Who they trying to, be dominant over, or something like we would be able to sense that. I don't know if it's a smell, if it's a taste. I don't know what it is. If it's something that get into our eyes and and then we can sense it chemically. I mean, I hear that it's a scent. I hear
It-
that it's a scent, but it's still got to be some form of energy.
yes, and I'm gonna break it down to you. In other spiritual systems, they talk about we have multiple
Get off the
bodies.
couch.
Like we have our physical body, which we can see, but we also have energetic bodies, and some of them say it's 7 of them. So these other bodies, they're spiritual bodies. They're etheric. We can't really see them. Some people can see them, and they call them auras, and they resonate in their different colors. So when something hits your spiritual senses, like hearing, for example, the sound comes in, the eardrum vibrates, which is the vibration, and then we interpret it. Seeing is the
Yeah.
same way. We see light that comes in, and then our brain interprets it. So what we're talking about here is picking up on the vibration before the brain interprets it and then tells us what it is. So we're talking about feeling someone's energy, using these energetic bodies, and before the brain interprets it with the physical body. That's what we're really talking about. So, and it's a vibrational, energetic thing that our bodies, other bodies are picking up on. And then we
And that's,
interpret it with the physical body, which
yeah, that's
slows
like
us down.
the tantric,
What do you mean?
right?
Go break it down.
It's like you ever heard of tantric sex?
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that, to where it's not necessarily, I mean, it is a physical thing, but it's not the same type of, it's more of a spiritual energy.
Yeah.
And do you know, with, again, like I said, if we would use that, we would be more peaceful. We would have another understanding of language. We would be able to connect more.
Yeah.
With anybody, you know. And I was thinking about this just now. so this is really rough now.
Yeah, go for it.
Maybe that's what the homosexual thing is.
Oh boy.
Men, no,
Okay. Oh, this is real rough.
No, I mean, but what I'm saying is, it's like,
Yeah.
it's like they're somebody had the idea of it and wanted to connect, but they didn't know how to connect with their homie. They wanted to connect like that. They wanted to, but it's in that form is not necessarily, it's a spiritual thing. And I just want to connect with my homie spiritually, but they didn't know how to connect with them spiritually, so they poked them. You know what I mean? So I'm thinking that's what I think that's what it is. And it was just like the misuse of language. It's the misuse of language.
I get where you're going with that, bro. I get where you're going. Just a confused state of how to interact with the energy. Just not really knowing how to I mean, I guess you could say it as simple as like, well, I didn't really know how to communicate my emotions with my dude. We didn't really agree, but I just punched him in the face, when I could have taken the time to really sit with it, like you were saying, sit in silence, connect with the energy, and not get in a fight, but just connect on a different level. So it's just confusion, right? Yeah, I get you.
Yeah,
just being
just 100% the confusion. And the spiritual part,
I was just gonna say, and that's the whole point of switching the language, to confound the people and confuse the language, make them disconnect on how to actually connect with each other.
Yeah, because I really do feel if we have that ability, if there was a true way that we could understand each other as men and to connect spiritually as men. Now, they do it in churches sometimes. Sometimes they do it in churches. Sometimes they do it in different groups to where they can connect and they actually understand the connection. They can feel it. And it's not a homosexual thing. It's not a kissing thing or anything like that. It's just we connect. So now we can be on the same page and we can move together and we're stronger. You know what I mean? Now, when they do it in church, the men are strong, but they're strong in the focus that is for the church, that church. You know what I mean? But I think if we are able to do it in a place to where it's for the world, and yeah, I'm thinking about the world, man, because I really want us to be at peace, because just to touch in this little situation that we got going on in the world right now with what they're talking about the Jews, all this new information that's coming out. I really do feel that right now at this particular point in time, we need to connect. We need to start understanding language, body language, spiritual language, written language, because it's getting ready to be something different that I don't think I hope we're ready for. I hope there's people here that are ready for what's getting ready to take place, because there's going to be a lot of fuckery and trickery and death coming. And the only reason why I say that, I see in 5 or 6 years that war that they have over there from Islam and Judaism, or the Zionists and Muslims, however you want to call it, is going to be on American soil. They're trying to bring it here to destroy America. And if you see, they're doing a lot of stuff to move people from the rural areas to the cities. They're doing a corralling right now. So, and pretty soon you're going to start seeing they're taking away all the fighters too. They're getting ready to start taking away the fighting people. And now it's not just men that are fighters. They're taking away women too. They done put enough stuff in our food. They done put enough stuff in the air with the chemtrails. They're getting ready to come after us. And this ain't no scare tactic. This ain't no scare tactic or anything like that, or me promoting, pushing fear. I'm not trying to say get up and grab your guns and start shooting and killing motherfuckers. I'm saying focus on connections with people, because that's the only way we can beat that. And it's not to stand and fight against it. It's to connect with people. Because if you're fighting against this, if we're fighting against it, we're still creating damage.
Oh man, dude, you said so many points. Thought you weren't even gonna go on this topic, but here you are. All right.
Well, we don't have to go on it. We don't have to go on it.
It's all good. I mean, maybe it needs to be addressed in a way, in the light of language, because language is what makes you see. One of my favorite movies of all time is Avatar.
Come here, my daughter.
Right? One of my favorite movies of all time is Avatar. And there's one line that Neytiri uses, and she talks to Jake Sully, and she's like, no one can make you see, Jake. And it's not talking about these physical eyes, because everyone can see, right? I can point to the house and, you can see the house, but it's talking about the pictures in your mind. No one can make you see me as your brother instead of a distant stranger, other than you coming into the knowledge of awakening that person is my brother. So you have to be able to wake up to what it is that makes you brothers. And it's this natural connection that we all have to nature that has been taken away systematically through language, through school, through religion, through food, through politics. All of these things have been put in our place to divide us. And it takes the awareness, which is seeing with the mind's eye, because we can see with the mind's eye that we're all really connected beyond what our physical eyes are saying, beyond our skin color, beyond our words, beyond our religion. We're all connected to this earth. We're all human beings that, and we can't separate that. Only the pictures that's been put in our mind to divide. And it's that type of love and knowledge of self, because all of the knowledge that we should have should connect us to ourself. And when we're connected to ourself, we see that we are connected to all things, and that we're at our heart light beings with different representative colors, different spectrums of light. But that's the beauty of it.
Yes, it is.
That's the beauty of it, that we're all different, but yet one. but they want us to fight each other because of the differences. And that's where we're going wrong. We have to look at these differences as how beautiful that is, and our U.S. military capitalizes on that by taking all these different cultures and meshing them into one unit, because they understand that there's power in bringing them together. All the movies show us this. Look at the Power Rangers, look at the Transformers, all these different colors. Those are representative of us and different cultures, that
Oh
when we
yeah,
come together, that's the power.
come together like Voltron.
Yes,
Not
sir.
as
Like, but straight up, like, how many times have they shown us that the power is in us coming together?
right. They show it to us, and they sneak it in, and they destroy it.
Yeah. Yep.
They destroy it because they'll put that in. They have to put it in. They have to show the children that it all matters. But if you see how they do it, they don't do it with people too much.
Mm-mm.
They don't do it with people. They do it with animals and colors. You know, like if they would have Power Rangers, right? And the Power Rangers put on the same color suit, right? If they all put on like the same color suit, it wouldn't matter. And kept their face uncovered and their arms or hands uncovered. And you can see there's an Arab dude, a Russian person, American that we're a
Asian,
melting
one,
pot.
yes.
But you know, something like that, all together fighting for the same cause. That would show that they really want us to survive. They don't want to survive because they keep taking and pulling everything apart from us. And then when they add the colors, like you said, like where I brought up Voltron, they're all tigers or cats or some sort, right?
Yeah.
But what they did was they used colors: green, black, yellow, red, and blue, right? That's not us. That's not us. Even Panthro and Jatar and Lionel and Tigger. I mean, like, those are different cats. They're not us. But they did give that to children. They did give that to children. They showed us the truth. They showed children the truth the whole time. But as we get older, we don't see that. We don't see it as people. We don't see it as people trying to create something beautiful with the connections that we have with each other. We disconnect. The older we get, we try to disconnect. And that's one thing that I don't want us to do. I was disconnected in a sense in the beginning when we first met. You know, I was 100%. I was, but when I start thinking about love, when I start thinking about peace, when I started really wanting to be not just a good person, not just a better human being, but when I stopped wanting to fight and kill everybody, when I start wanting my children to live in a better world, when I start seeing my children playing with everybody else, and watching children play and not even care about people, you know what I mean? And this is now, mind you, this isn't when my children were little babies, because I didn't know you when they was little babies, right?
No.
This is when my children were in high school and middle school. And I was like, my children are playing with all kinds of people, and they're wonderful people, Indians and Arabs and Asians. And when I start traveling the world and stuff like that, it's like I want to be connected with these people. And the only way for me to create a beautiful world is to be connected. I can create a beautiful world and help guide Black people. I can help guide Black people to become better, to blend into a more beautiful world. I can do that, right? But it's not just about Black people. It's about people joining together and creating a beautiful world. And that's what you brought to the screen today. And
Yeah,
that's
man.
with language. And it's not
Yeah.
just one thing that we did reveal. It's not just written language. It's not just audio or auditory language. It's physical language. It's the body language. It's the spiritual language that we need to connect and that we need for people to start teaching in their cultures so that
Yeah.
it can blend. You know, mind you, they did come from the Bible. It says that they, with the Babylon, I'm bringing it back to the beginning real quick with
Sure.
Babylon, right? If we start realizing who came to destroy, if we realize who came to destroy, we can see that they're trying to destroy the same thing right now. And what they did destroy, they destroyed our connection to the earth, like you said. They're trying to destroy that. They're trying to destroy our connection to the earth. And we are all earth. We are all earth. When they're destroying the tree, we got to understand that we are part of that connection.
That's
When they're
right.
destroying the Palestinians, we're part of that connection. When they're destroying the Indians, when they're destroying the Africans, when they're destroying the Russians, the Germans, when they're destroying the Jews, whatever, when they're destroying humans, we are part of that connection. We need to be connected. And I don't want to get all cheesy and corny right now when they're talking about we are the world, we are the children. But damn it, that's what we are. You know, I don't think when I was younger, I ain't gonna talk about we because I don't know what everybody else saw. But when I was younger, I didn't understand that. I didn't
Nope.
understand that we are the world. Go
We
ahead.
are,
What's
bro.
that?
Yeah, bro. We are. And you hit on a lot of points. I mean, you brought up, a certain culture earlier, and how many times in our movies do we see this symbol demonized? But look at it. Look at this symbol, bro. You see it, right?
Yeah,
You see the connection between us and this symbol. That's because it represented in our ancient culture something that connected us to nature, the four principles: fire, earth, and wind, air, water. But now now it's a one of the most demonized symbols in our culture. But
yeah,
look at how the language that we use, or the way that we've been taught certain historical facts, have been twisted to demonize us. Like another one, the rainbow, for example. Roy G. Biv, red, orange, yellow. These are colors of the chakra, or the chakra systems of the rainbow. Some people, like I said, who have the psychic eye open, can see these colors emanate from people's bodies.
yeah,
But now the symbol means something totally different.
yeah. They used it for homosexuality.
Yeah, they take the symbols that meant something that connected us to use it as something to divide us. But no one can make us see this connection. You have to have an open heart, open mind to be able to realize, hey, there's something crazy going about this. If they keep demonizing these symbols in every movie that we see, we need to be looking at that. And then another thing that they do is they use another symbol, the Christ figure, to say everyone needs to unite under this symbol. Ooh, maybe we need to look at that too. Why why are we demonizing this one and they want us to, in every movie, to unite under this one? That
Right.
can't be for our good.
And,
It can't
look, look,
be.
look, 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 and I'm sorry, I gotta add this one to it real quick. And
Yes.
it's a visual and unite under a symbol of man dying, hanging there on death.
Yes.
You know, it's like why and that's the thing I never understood. I never understood that part of the language. Why do we have to worship this? This is what I'm looking at. A man's death. I got to sit here. Why don't we show him pushing the boulder over and coming out of the casket or whatever, coming out of
Because
the
it's a
tomb?
death culture, bro. It's a death culture that they want us to worship. Look at all the war and all the pestilence and all the stealing and all the conquering. They want us to unite under that umbrella. We know who the biggest conquerors in the world right now and what they've used to take over other indigenous people's spiritual system under that symbol.
Mm-mm.
That's what it is. They want us to worship the death culture. But the opposite of that is that we don't really die. When we understand what we really are is beyond the physical body. What we really are is the consciousness that's operating through the physical body, and it's just a vehicle or a temple for the soul that is inside the body. That's why you have to be able to look beyond someone's skin color, look beyond the words, and feel their vibration, like we were saying earlier. That's our superpower. That's the power that really connects, because we know love in itself is not just like this, oh, I love you. It's a deeper principle than that. It's the opposite of the death culture. It's bringing everything together and making wholeness. And this culture is about division. And that's what they want us to unite under. But we're talking about something way greater than that. Uniting under the concepts that show the differences, but yet that we can love beyond, even with the differences. You know what I mean? Because that's what makes us strong. So that's what it's all about. They want us to unite under a death culture, bro.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we saw the symbols. We saw the symbols, how our ancients used it, and we talk about these people, and they put us in this state of thinking that those cultures who use that connection to the language that connects them to the spirit as primitive cultures. But we've talked that this language is a technology. What better technology was there that other than that which connected you to the place in which you live and the place that sustains you? Because this wind, this air that we breathe, this sustains us, and they put symbols in there that disconnected us from that, and they're using those symbols against us that to try to discontinue that disconnection. But that's where the power is, bro. The ether, the earth is what sustains us. And what do? Cut down all the trees,
Right.
poison the water.
Hey, don't even put us back in the earth. Lie to us and put us, it's like why do we have to be in the box? Just put us back in the dirt. Let the earth have us back. It's like an evil game. Like, motherfucker, we gonna put him back in here, but you can't get to him because this box is not biodegradable.
Yeah.
You're
right.
That's a horrible game. That's a horrible game. Then
and it's a high stakes game.
Yeah.
It's a high stakes game. People, this whole death culture, right? They want us to worship the death culture, but at the very true essence of what we are, we don't really die. We're the consciousness that operates through the body that dies. But what we are, we don't really die. So if we're so fearful of this death, then it keeps us in this box forever. Pandora's box. But we are beyond this box, this body that boxes us in.
But do you know why though? I figured this out the other day. Hold on a second. I don't have. Okay, that's what she's doing. That's pretty smart. That's pretty smart. So my daughter did something really smart, and it threw me off. I forgot.
You figured something out the other day. We were talking about the box and keeping us in the box. You figured out something. What'd you figure out the other day?
Okay. Forgot.
All right. Well, it'll come back. Hopefully. Sound like it was going to be a good thought. Something about why they keep us in the box. And but yeah, man. Yeah, just careful with those words, man.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. That's what it is.
All right.
Check out.
Yeah.
If they put us in the ground, right? Because I have this concept, what I want to do. Everybody, I mean, you've probably seen it before, but I had the idea before I seen it. And this was like many, many years ago. Probably I'm 50 now, so it was probably back when I was like in my 20s. But when you bury somebody, right? Bury them in something that's biodegradable, like some cloth. Drop them in the ground in a tube-ish, in the ground 6 feet deep, and then put a tree right over top of them. a tree that's gonna, like an oak tree or tree of that area that can flourish. I mean, can flourish and live for a long time, 200 years maybe, longer than that. You know what I mean? And everybody that dies that way, I mean, that dies, put them in the, bury them that way. Do you know what that would do? That would allow the trees to gather that DNA. That would allow the trees to change the universe and what we breathe, because the trees would clean it up. That's what the trees do. They would see what's in our DNA. The trees would say like, oh, okay, this is what's going on. This is how these people are dying. The earth would be able to, the animals would eat us that are down there, and they'd be like, what? Oh, this is what's going on. Because they're there for a purpose. You know what I mean?
Trees are the ancestors, bro, for sure.
Yeah, not just the trees, but the worms and the ants. They're there for a purpose. They're there to dissect. They're the scientists. They have their own world down there that we don't necessarily understand. And then they put all that out there. So they're getting the DNA. The trees is like, okay, here, let's go ahead and cleanse this, because this is what's going on in the community of the world up here. You know? That's how come they're not doing it, because they know that the earth will fix itself. There would be no the chemtrails that they're putting up there, it will go away, because all the trees of the earth, if we were put back in the ground, would be able to destroy that. It's like, let's clean that shit up, because the trees have that ability, and there's enough of them, but they keep burning them down. They keep burning them down. You know what I mean? And they're supposedly, if you've seen what's going on, is they're stopping people from living in the forest. Oh, you see that?
Oh, yeah, I'm aware of it. I mean, I'm aware of it. They used to call the ancient sages siddhis, S-I-D-D-H-I, siddhis, and that word sounds very similar to cities. So we used to go to these ancient people in the caves and everything, the cities, to get healing and things like that. But now they've reversed it and made them cities where there's only destruction and sickness and chemicals and poison. So they flip-flop almost everything in our reality to make it the opposite of what we really need for healing and stuff. So yes, they are trying to corral everyone into the cities, and they call them smart cities, but we've already cracked the code on what smart means. It's about surveillance and control and all that. So yes, they want everyone in the cities and out from the country. Why? Because the trees are out there. That's where you got better air. You got better breathing. You know, all of that. You can sustain yourself and grow food in the rural areas, not in the city. Too much concrete. You know, so it's a crazy. That's where the connection is, and of course they want us disconnected. But look how they want us disconnected. But look how resilient Earth is, right? Of all the bombardment, all the pollution, all the chemtrails, and yet Mother Earth is still fighting for us, right? And we are we are a microcosm of where Earth is. So we are like mini Earths ourselves. And look how resilient we've been in spite of the mind control and the bombardment and the education and all the poisoning. And is that kind of resilience that they're afraid of? Because when we come into the knowledge of who we really are, it's a problem. So we have to just keep being resilient, keep fighting, keep having these conversations, keep putting them out, even if we think no one's listening, and just keep putting it out and keep showing that resilience, because that is what they're terrified of. It's too many of us out here, and if we can just continue to wake each one up, that's the force that we need, bro. Just keep waking each other up, keep finding ways to connect.
You know, you're right. There was this one thing that I learned a long time ago, and this was in Ohio when I learned this.
Yeah.
And it was part of something that they said was witchcraft. But I don't think it's witchcraft anymore.
You used to think it was witchcraft, but now you don't? Is that what
because they were saying that it's witchcraft. Yeah. What you do is like, if you say you cut your hair or your fingernails, right? You grab them and you put them in, you can put them in like a tissue paper, and then you go bury it in the ground. That's supposed to give a blessing back to Mother Earth while you're alive.
Yeah.
And it's a piece of you, right?
Yeah.
And it's supposed, like what they said, that it's supposed to be like a healing for you as a person, and it's supposed to like trap people also, not like what they do, bury the panties in the yard or bury his underwear in the backyard or something like that, but like it will, like if a person comes over your house, you really like them over there, and you can clip some of their stuff off or cut their hair or whatever, and you can bury it in your backyard. When they come to your house, they will sense, especially if you have like a lot of greenery, they will come to your house and they will sense peace.
Mm.
There will be a piece of their energy there that they will be able to connect with, whether they know it or not. They would, when they come to your house, they would feel peace at your house.
Mm.
And it was like a trap. They was using it, saying as a trap. You know what I mean? But it's not really a trap. It was that was the trick that they used. They flipped it.
Mm-hmm.
You just brought that to me. They flipped it. It's not a trap. It's giving back to the earth so that you can feel peace in this area. That's why I think that the Indians was always pissed when they would go dig up the burial grounds.
Yes.
Because they
felt it's sacred ground.
They actually felt peace. They felt peace because a piece of them was there. And the trees that were around it honored them.
That's right,
gave
brother.
them that energy, gave them that. And then Earth itself was like, hey, this is for you. Thank you. We appreciate you. You know, so, I'm going to say this online, and I don't know why I'm going to say this online. I'm not going to say it online. I'm going to keep it to myself.
Go ahead. I'll let you finish your point.
No. That was it. I was gonna.
You make an excellent point, because if you look at that word sacred, that was sacred ground that you're talking about. They've switched the letters and made that word scared. Those are the same words energetically, sacred and scared, and they make us scared of quote unquote witchcraft when it's sacred. It's sacred. We should be absolutely connecting with Earth like that. I asked a client, I asked a client of mine the other day. I said, do you have people at your church who might be interested? Because I'm a trainer. You have people at your church who might be interested in, me coming by and teaching some stretching, some yoga stuff, some breath work. Oh no, they don't want to do that because of the spiritual stuff with yoga. Like, what do you mean? That's our body connecting with Earth and breath work and breathing and letting the energy move. But they made people scared of the sacred things. And we're just talking about using your body, and the religion has made people scared to even dabble in it. Isn't that crazy? How we've been so disconnected from what actually makes us go. We don't even want to practice breath work. Obviously, you breathe every day. What's wrong? Where's the fear in breathing a little bit better, or allowing more of this thing that you breathe into your body? That is the idiocy that we're dealing with under this mind control, bro.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is, mind control. And it's sad. We need to be connecting with nature like that, and the herbs and the plants and the trees and the breath and the body movements. I took a Tai Chi cert the other day, and the dude was just like, Tai Chi comes from nature. How you move fast with the wind, and sometimes you move quick, sometimes you move slow. That's a natural concept, but we're afraid of it. The religion has made us afraid of it, dude. And it's crazy, man. But you bring up an excellent point about how we should be burying things, interact with nature more. Even the fact that you go out and you put your hands in the soil, you come back and say, ooh, that's dirty, when we know that the plants grow in the soil. So is it really dirty?
Right. And we eat out of it.
Like, what are we doing? It's crazy.
It is.
It's crazy, man.
And
And
you know what's crazy? Can you see this?
that Christmas tree. Oh boy, don't get
That's
me. Okay.
crazy. I'm not bringing up the religion. I'm just
No, you good.
I'm bringing up the idea of, hey, I really love you. I love you, babe. Let me go kill these flowers real quick and give them to you so you can watch them die. Let's flip that shit back to the way it's
Death
supposed
culture.
to be.
Why don't we
Yeah,
plant some flowers?
Right. I love you. Like roses? I've got that bush back there. We can take care of that bush together. That it's gonna pop out roses every year. Oh,
Yeah.
you like
Death
lilies?
culture.
I got a thing over here so you can have lilies every freaking year. That's what gardens were for the kings and queens. They didn't chop all that shit off. They planted something for them. You like that? Let me bring that to you. Oh, we was over there in China. You like that? You like that tree? Get some seeds. We're gonna have that tree in my kingdom too. You know what I mean? It wasn't let's chop that tree down.
Yep. See, death culture versus life culture, right?
Yeah.
That's another example of how they've got us worshiping the death culture, chopping
Yeah.
down trees and putting electric lights on it, which we are. I mean, I think I was reading something about flowers. Like one of the highest pinnacles of nature's creation is the flower itself. So why are you just chopping them all down instead of planting more of them? You know,
because they want us to, exactly what you said. It's the death culture. They want us to die. They want us to want they want us to want to die
and see death around every place that we turn.
Yeah. And you know what? We are creating beautiful things with this conversation. Even though it's me and you, we're putting it on the internet. The internet is infected by us.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And for all the people that are out putting beautiful things on the internet, keep doing it. We need you. You are important. You're not just important to the people that are around you. You are important to the earth. You're important to the whole world. Keep putting beautiful things out here. Keep connecting to the people that you can connect with, because you can connect with people that I don't connect with.
Yeah,
you
man.
Can
like and share for sure.
Yeah. You can connect with a whole bunch of people, which it eventually come back to me, and I appreciate it. It'll come back to Rod, and he's going to appreciate it. We all appreciate it. Keep putting beautiful things out here, because that's what we're supposed to do. Watch what you say. Watch how you talk. Take time to breathe. Connect to people. Notice the energies that you have around each other. Notice that when you get pissed at your family, at your at people that you care about, be quiet for a second. Look at them.
Yeah.
Think about the love that you actually have for that person. Breathe. Reconnect with them. Stay silent. Reconnect with them. Think about it again. Then speak if you can. Speak with love.
Yes, sir.
Not anger, not this deaf culture that we have. We're build love within this one individual right here. This one right here is the start. I push it out. That one thing they say, carry it forward, right?
Yeah.
We all have to do that. Start with yourself. Focus on it every single day. Every moment is a new moment. We have to focus on it, because we can be out here driving and I'm pushing love, and then somebody goes and get in front of me, and I have to readjust that moment right then and there. Like, wait a minute, hold on. I don't know what that person is doing. He might be trying to go save somebody. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, so let's not just call this person an asshole. Let's breathe and realize we don't know what's going on with that person.
That's right.
And
That's
we
right.
stay
We got
focused
all
on
that
our
world,
mission.
bro. That's right.
Yeah.
I love that, man. That's beautiful, bro. I mean, man, I gotta get ready to wrap this thing up. I mean, you wanna say one more thing to close it out, or I'll say one thing to close it out.
Go ahead, man. I'm all about the love right now. You already
For
said
sure.
it.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, man. That was beautiful, man. The call to get others to spread love and put good things out. The news shows us nothing but negative things. Every time I look at my phone, it's like this person got caught, that person got killed, this, and all the bombardment of the craziness that's going on in this world. We need more positive things. And my hope with this message today about language was that, all the knowledge that we have in the world doesn't amount to nothing if it can't connect you to yourself and the self-love that you have within, and so that you can put more of that out and the best of you out to the world. So it was just to connect us to who we are as humans, who we are as souls, who we are beyond the labels, and who we are in our hearts and vibration. For those of us who are vibrating on the side of unity and connection, just keep doing that, keep vibrating, and let's not, as the title says, how words divide, distract, and control. Let's not divide, let's bring together, let's get on track with each other and free ourselves.
Let's free ourselves.
Free ourselves, bro. All this self, as that maxim goes, all this self. And we're all connected to earth. Earth sustains us. So let's take care of ourselves, take care of earth, take care of the ones we love, and just let that seed and just keep watering that seed.
All right, brother.
All right, bro. Hell of a talk today, man. Love you too, bro. I appreciate you. Appreciate these conversations, and let's go out and do something big today.
All right.
All right, bro.
Yeah, have a good one.